this, I would like to call on our Atlanta Filipino early settlers, Alex Pascual.
Greetings. I'm not bringing you a history, but a story. Everyone has his or her own story of coming to America, and this is ours. The Pascual's story of displaying the ever-present Filipino spirit, of seeking opportunities for the betterment of its family members, started with my father as a civil engineer in the Philippines, then working in Nigeria for 8 years. In 1972, the whole family immigrated to the United States, Los Angeles to be exact, because we had relatives there. Support group for Filipinos is a very important and real need. But that's another story. But for 2 years, my father couldn't find a job, and my parents were dipping into their savings in keeping us children in schools. Providentially, he found a job opening here in Atlanta. And would you believe it was to be one of the pioneer engineers for the MARTA rail system. Well, through him, other engineers that he knew way back in Nigeria, and even my own uncle got to work here in Atlanta. I then finished my college in Georgia Tech as another civil engineer in 1975, and receiving the baton from my father, I later worked on some MARTA projects and even worked for MARTA at one point. Guiding me was the desire to be a good engineer with integrity like my father's, designing structures that service safely the people in Georgia. I have long lost count of the number of bridges and walls I have designed in Metro Atlanta and the Southeast. The Pascual siblings graduated 2 civil engineers, a medical technologist, an accountant, and a hotel and restaurant management graduate. My own next generation Pascuals are Andy, who is a major now in National Guard and works as an assistant district attorney for the Western Judicial Circuit, and 2 entrepreneurs. Jonathan owns the Taproom Coffee store in city of Kirkwood, and Eileen owns Bloom Photography in Athens, Georgia. My wife Eleanor May and I participated in film community activities as soon as we can drag the kids to events. Along the way, we have served as officers, then presidents of the Film Atlanta and other international groups. Now, most of you have seen the outside in the lobby, the book that I wrote. It started as something of curiosity as well as to improve my own grasp of the English language. That book is the product of more than 10 years of researching the nuances of the American English, pronunciations, and collecting real-life stories and anecdotes. But it was completed not to make money, but to share what I have learned in an organized and simplified and entertaining book. Now, Venus has mentioned that there were some people she knew who were afraid to talk on the telephone. Maybe you need to buy them this book. The proceeds will benefit the Galing Foundation. I'm donating the proceeds to them. If you have caught them, there are some takeaways in what I've shared with you today. One of them is the wisdom of making true friends and connections. Finding opportunities both in taking or giving, whether in jobs or businesses, are greatly appreciated. The other takeaway is that sharing unselfishly your skills or gifts with your fellow Filipino Americans and other internationals. Mabuhay tayong lahat, and thank you all.
I was asked to show you the book, English for Filipinos by Alex Pascual. And if anybody is interested in buying, it's outside, just outside beside the registration desk. And I believe half of it is gonna benefit Galing Foundation.